Hello, and welcome to episode 65 of the Movie Bros podcast. We are your hosts, Duncan and Hayden. Welcome back, or welcome for the first time if you're listening. This is a weekly podcast of two brothers who pick a movie, watch that movie, discuss, ramble, banter, argue, beat to death, and then post it for you fine folks to listen to. We cover all kinds of movies from all kinds of genres and all kinds of eras. Otherwise, hello.
I'm here as well. I didn't say anything in the actual intro, but hi, I'm Hayden. I'm also here. He's Duncan.
If you are curious about previous episodes or future episodes, you can always check us out on Spotify, YouTube, and on Instagram at @themovie_bros. If you're looking for a quick little recap of movies in a week, you can always check out Dunk's Movie Corner. If you're looking for horror specific movies, Hayden's got a podcast coming soon, so TBD. Otherwise, that's what this is. Hayden, what did we watch / are going to be talking about this week?
So once a month, we try and get out to see something in theaters. We pay money for tickets and try and get some new content and not a rewatch in front of you guys. So this month was Weapons, the 2025 horror/mystery movie. Initially, this was something I was super interested in just because horror isn't Duncan's cup of tea usually. That's okay. It ended up being, at least in my opinion, that this wasn't a full horror movie. So, but we'll get into that in a bit. Here's some information on the movie itself. As I say, it was released 2025, literally this month, although by the time you hear this, it may in fact be October. Directed, written, music, and produced by Zach Cregger. If you recognize his name at all, you would know him from things like Barbarian and the sketch comedy show The Whitest Kid You Know. Music here is, as I say, by Zach Cregger, but also has the couple Ryan and Hayes Holiday assisting. Cinematography here is by Larkin Seipel. I meant to look up what else they had done because I think the movie looks very nice, but it completely slipped my mind. But that's homework for the listeners to do. This stars Julia Gardner, Josh Brolin, Benedict Wong, Amy Madigan, Carrie Christopher, Austin Abrams, Ian Reich, Whitmer Thomas, and Callie Shuttera. And then the bit of trivia I have is that this was actually in production back in 2023, but then the Screen Actors Guild strike happened, and the original cast all had to drop out for scheduling issues, and then the cast we see in the movie now is not them. And I think it's interesting to think about, okay, how would this movie be different with the original cast? The original cast being, in place of Josh Brolin, you would have Pedro Pascal. In place of Julia Gardner, you would have had the main actress from The Worst Person in the World, named Renee Riencev. I think I mispronounced that. I apologize. Brian Tyree Henry of lots of different things in place of Benedict Wong. And then an actor who I don't recognize, but I think was in a movie you saw, Duncan. Did you see Black Bag?
I did.
Tom Burke.
Yeah. So he was also in Furiosa.
Oh, that guy. Right. So he would have been the cop instead of Alden Ehrenreich. So I think it probably still would have been good. I know we joke about being burnt out on Pedro Pascal. I think Josh Brolin is definitely the better pick here.
Yes, I agree. And while I think it would have worked just fine with a lot of those other actors, I like the cast as is.
Mm-hmm. I like that. I mean, outside of Josh Brolin, no one looks like Hollywood handsome. Everyone kind of looks like a normal person.
Well, even Josh Brolin in this. I mean, yes, he's Hollywood handsome, but he's not like that. I feel like Pedro Pascal is a little younger,
It's
a little more like pretty boy, versus Josh Brolin's a little more grizzled looking.
Yeah, I can more easily buy him as like a upper middle class dad.
Yes.
Well, as I say, this is definitely more in my wheelhouse than yours, but I should also mention that because of scheduling issues on my part, I didn't see it until the ass end of the month. We are nearly in October, and I saw it a couple days ago. Duncan, I think, saw it pretty much right towards the first, or when it was first released, because he saw it with girlfriend, partner. I don't know what word you want to use in
Yes,
that
yeah, yeah,
situation.
that's fine. Yeah, so
Okay.
this came out at beginning of August. I saw it opening weekend.
Yeah, I don't know what I was
So
doing.
no, no, it's fine. It's just like I mean, my memory from 2 months ago versus you, which is like a couple days ago. So uh, we'll see how much of
Yeah,
this I've
I
got.
apologize for that.
Well, so I've got one tab which is the plot, and then another tab which is just stills from the movie, so that can hopefully generate
Sure.
most of my memory.
So,
But
um,
I enjoyed
I,
it.
I'll try not to dominate the conversation too much, even though it might just happen,
We'll
quote
see.
unquote,
It's all
naturally,
good.
just because I have more memories of it. So all that is to say is that I was very very excited to watch this. I think it had a really well cut trailer, and then just
Hmm.
for whatever reason, my schedule, other things, monetary realities, I couldn't see it until like literally last weekend. But I am very glad I went out and saw it. Before I get to my feelings and ratings, Duncan, do you remember what yours were at all?
Let me look at my letterbox because at least that'll be something. I gave it a 3.5 out of 5.
Any thoughts about it?
Oh yeah. I love the Naruto run that they just decided to do. Like, there's, like, I've even seen stuff with like the director that they're like, oh, that's just a weird thing we just decided. There wasn't really a real reason behind it. The non-linear storytelling, which sometimes I think works really well, and sometimes I think it doesn't work really well. I think this worked about 80% of the time. There's a couple bits in the middle and towards the end where I was like, okay, we've now seen this scene from like four different perspectives. I've got it. The movie didn't really have like a point. There wasn't like a theme. It was just like, oh, these things are happening. Like, okay, Gladys needs their
Well,
life force. Got it. Which no, that's fine. That's fine. And again, I even as a someone who doesn't like horror movies, yeah, I don't like getting scared, but most of the time I find horror movies don't have enough of a plot, and this was enough for me. Like, I was actually interested.
so I would say that as a genre, you're going to find a lot of horror movies don't have a whole like this is the message we're trying to say. It's not a genre that's well known for like, oh,
Well, no,
this is
and
the
like
point.
there wasn't a ton of character development at all. Like, these people
Yeah,
are just kind of them, and they were it's them experiencing this, but there wasn't really like, oh, these people are changing or growing or yeah. Uh, I saw this again opening weekend. The theater was full. That was fun.
that's always
Um,
great.
yeah, yeah. So I feel like we've said this, dozens of times, but where and how you watch a movie is almost just as important as the movie itself. What else? The so when people were calling this like a dark comedy, it is. I would not call it a dark comedy.
Um,
Like,
I don't think I would either.
there are some comedic moments, but I would not really like. It's not really that funny. Like, looking back, there were some like funny bits, like, the Benedict Wong running through the streets bit, Gladys getting chased by the kids at the end. Spoiler alert, but it's been 2 months. But yeah, I don't know. I wouldn't. People, I think it was just misrepresented if people were calling it comedic.
Yeah. So I actually also would say this is a 3.5 out of 5. I think for different reasons than you did though, because I wanted it to be more horror, and I think that especially in the middle, it slows down a little bit.
Well, it's much more thriller than horror, almost.
Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong, I still really enjoyed it, but I do agree with you that while the alternating uh perspectives and little chapters they were doing was interesting, you could have cut one of them out and probably fleshed
Hmm.
out other parts of it and it would have been fine. Which one do you think I want cut?
They don't really need the drug addict.
Oh, see, I'm actually saying we don't really need the cop.
Well, okay,
Well,
so you really need Justine, you need Josh Brolin.
I think you combine those roles.
Yes, I'm saying you don't need both. You need one or the other.
Yeah.
Because you need Gladys to have like a henchman at the end. But
Hmm.
yeah, because you need Justine. I think you do need Benedict Wong, which I actually I liked him a lot in this.
Me
Because
too. I
for
didn't know
so
he was
long,
in
all
it.
he did was fucking Marvel movies as Wong.
Hmm.
I don't know if, again, for what this movie is, and obviously it's because it got such a like positive response from audiences. The whole prequel, and you and I referenced this off air, but like, why? I don't really get why they're making a Gladys prequel, or I don't know if that's for sure happening, but like,
So
do
Zach Krager,
something
the
else.
director, was interviews like, yeah, the studio gave me the green light. So this is something that he already wanted to do.
Hmm.
I think he just likes that character, and that's totally a valid reason. I personally think it harms her as a character if we know more about her.
Yeah,
I
you don't.
think
Again, you don't need it.
one of the best parts about this is that she is an unknown. She is mysterious. I like that this doesn't in so much as a way lay out and give you a monologue about, oh, this is why she's doing this is how things are happening. It lets you piece together things as much as the story will allow you to do. And I think giving her an explanatory backstory doesn't help that. I
Well,
did
and
like, though, the movie was constantly shoving the themes of parasites in your face.
you might have to remind me.
So whenever we go to a flashback of Justine in the classroom teaching, they're talking about tapeworms. And then when we go to Benedict Wong's house, he's talking about, oh, there's a species of caterpillar that's like invasive and it's eating our plants. And
Hmm.
um, yeah, there are lots of other little hints like, oh, hey, there's something in this like town, in this community, that doesn't belong and is feeding off other things. I like that it was a subtle hint of that's what's going on, even if it's not an outright blinking neon sign of, hey, this is what this represents.
What are your thoughts? So, speaking on that, and speaking about the almost the positive of the vagueness, uh, the assault rifle in the dream.
What that I have been thinking about that
I have a thought. I
for
have a
like
thought.
4 days, because the other like dream sequences that we get, those kind of make sense. I don't understand what that's supposed to mean, because then it also shows up, oh, it's 2:15, that's when all the kids like run out of the house, okay, whatever. Why does it show up on the barrel of the like floating giant assault rifle over the house where Josh Brolin lives? I don't get the symbolism.
So my thought, and I thought I saw something from the director also saying this actually on Instagram, but so dreams are sometimes coherent, sometimes they're fucking abstract and don't make any
Oh yeah.
sense. So I think he was saying Josh Brolin is thinking the only thing part of the gun that actually is relevant is the time. I think the rest is just his mind being abstract. Uh, but I think they included it because they wanted to confuse the audience.
See, I will totally buy that, because I think unless you really want to like sit here and overanalyze it, I don't know if it makes a ton of sense. I was also gonna buy that maybe um Josh Brolin's character is a veteran of some sort, and so
Hmm.
that's why he's like hyper into like the police and all that fun stuff. So I would have bought that, but I think it is completely also totally acceptable. Just be, hey, this is weird.
Would you, what, besides dropping a character arc or character perspective, is there anything else you would want to change?
I
I'm
want it to be
trying.
scarier.
Well, I'm
I
trying to.
think there needs to
The
be more like graphic violence, because don't get me wrong, in the third act towards the tail end, that definitely ramps
there's
up.
some graphic audience.
And the way that Gladys gets her comeuppance is super shocking and crazy, and I love that.
Yeah, Jesus.
But like, so the movie starts with a voiceover of one of the kids that disappears. It's like, hey, this happened in my school. Lots of people die in really strange ways. And yeah, some of the characters die, but like, I was expecting more strange and violent deaths, and we really only get like four, which is, that's four people dead's a lot of dead people. But in the scope of a horror movie, I was kind of expecting more.
Well, yeah, that's why I think in some ways this was either misrepresented as a dark comedy and misrepresented as like a true horror movie because in a lot of ways it's mostly a thriller.
Yeah, I guess the best way I would describe this, if people haven't watched this, and I think I will probably recommend people watch it towards the end, but I think the best way to describe this is the David Fincher movie Seven. Or actually, no. I would describe
Seven's way
this.
more graphic than this.
I would
Way
describe
more.
this as if you mixed, what's the Denis Villeneuve movie with
Prisoners.
Hugh? Yeah. I would say
Yes.
it's Prisoners, but with a much more supernatural aspect to it.
I would agree with that because literally after watching this with my girlfriend, I was like, oh, hey, like, if because she really enjoyed it, I was like, oh, you should watch Prisoners. Like,
I mean,
it's
everyone
not
should
as
watch
fun,
Prisoners.
but it's
That's a
a
fucking incredible movie.
intense time. Yeah.
I also really like the music choices in this. I like that.
I'm
I
trying to,
mean,
I
it
don't
was
remember the
also
music.
it was a lot of like really low end synths and then a lot of very strange percussion. I like that it didn't go the normal symphonic route, but it also didn't go a normal. We're just going to definitely rip off of Halloween by Carpenter. So I like that it
Hmm.
was unique as well. It had its own identity. I thought cinematography wise, this looked pretty nice, all things considered. There was a lot of really good night shoots. I like a lot of the cinematography focused on, like, how do I describe it? Almost like you're seeing things from Gladys's perspective and you're following people around. A lot of it was we are situated in like a third person behind someone's head while they do something. I thought it was a really interesting idea.
Did you buy The Cop and Justine?
I didn't care about it. It's fine. I don't know that it adds much to the plot other than we need to know why he is starting to lose his cool. I think that could
Sure.
have been done other ways.
No, I get that, but at the same time, I liked seeing him slowly kind of just fucking lose it by
Oh
the end
yeah,
when
yeah.
he chases after Paul.
Hmm. I also think it's interesting. The guy who plays Paul was the only one from the original cast lineup who still made it into the final version of the movie. He was the only one who stayed around.
Well, good for him.
Yeah,
Why not? I thought looking at Justine and Dan Rick, what was his fucking name? I
Paul
don't remember.
something.
No, the officer.
Yeah.
I thought
Oh,
Paul. I think Paul is the drug addict.
Paul is a drug addict. I don't remember.
Either
The
way,
cop.
uh, I think it was in some ways it was also showing how people were dealing with like the grief of like losing all these kids. She turns to
Yeah,
like an ex boyfriend. Josh Brolin gets like quiet and obsessive. Some people are accepting of it to a certain degree, like Benedict Wong.
I also thought it was interesting that the more we learn about her character from other people's points of views, the more suspicious that she looks. Because
Oh, sure.
originally
At the
I'm like,
beginning, you're like, oh, she's innocent, but then you're like,
she's
she's
yeah. I like that they turn that trope on its head because usually when you have the female main character in a horror movie, she's either portrayed as absolute good or absolute evil. I like that in for pretty much all the characters here, they are all very nuanced. No one's a fully good person.
Benedict Wong is kind of the only good one, and then he
Well,
gets
yeah, pretty
fucked.
much.
But
Yeah, that whole scene with them in the kitchen and him like head
bashing in
smashing
his
his partner,
husband's head, yeah.
it was just so out of the blue. That was great. I mean, I don't want to say, oh, that's great, but like, oh, that was great.
It was something.
Well, I mean, for a movie that had done a really good job of doing a lot of build up and a lot of mystique, to have it kind of out in the open of saying, oh, this is what Gladys is doing. This is how the movie is going to employ witchcraft. I
Sure.
liked that it finally actually showed it.
Well, I really like that. Basically, they told you the 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 key to the movie pretty early on because like Josh Brolin writes "witch" on the side of Justine's car, and then
That
you realize,
that
oh,
too.
it was a witch.
Like it is like, look, it is a parasitic witch. It's in your face. It's in literally giant bright red letters.
Yes.
I thought that was fun.
What I didn't believe, and I've seen many a meme about this, which are very funny, is Alex, the little kid who's the only one who actually, is
Yep.
normal, uh, constantly going to the store and buying just bags and bags of
Yeah.
soup. Like so much fucking soup.
I did question, there's no adult that finds this weird, and there's
Right?
how is and how is he paying for it?
Mm-hmm.
The other thing I questioned was, and even like as far as horror movie logic goes, you have to suspend some disbelief for the genre, but like the cops don't think to look at the ring cameras and just chart where the kids are running.
Yeah, the whole thing that Josh Brolin's like, oh, I figured out they're all going to this. I was like, dude, I thought that was pretty fucking obvious. Like,
Like I find it hard to believe the cops don't think that. I think that the rest of the movie is fairly realistic in what the general populace's assumptions would be for something like this, but like that one stuck out to me. I
mm-hmm.
get that there's
I
a
agree.
reason why you can't have her being found out too early, but like there needs to be a better explanation as to why the cops don't seem to care. So we mentioned a little bit earlier that they are going to be making a prequel about Aunt Gladys as we know her. Even though we've intimated and we've said that we don't think it's a good idea.
Intimated?
I'm trying to sound intelligent. Even though we've said that we don't think it's a good idea, since we know it has to happen now, what do you want to see them do in that prequel?
I'll be honest, I probably just won't watch it. Not to like get out of your question, but just like I probably wouldn't watch it. If they are going, I mean, to answer your question though, I mean, if they're doing a classic backstory on her, it's how did she become a witch, or uh, how did she get like? Was there another town? Did she move from town to town, or I don't know? It feels so like it seems like such a waste.
So I agree, and I don't think they should do it either. I think it hurts the character, but I like the idea that at least in Weapons, she lies about being the kid's aunt and just kind of, again, played into the idea of a parasite, kind of worms her way into the family without actually being a relative. And I want to see her try this at a different city with a different family and have it go wrong. I want to see, okay, what did she learn the last time which made this one so nearly successful?
Well, I thought she was actually the aunt. They just hadn't talked to her in forever.
No, okay. There's a lot of things about this movie that are left intentionally vague. This is one of them. I got the impression that like no one could quite remember if she was a family member. They just automatically assumed that she was.
Okay, I don't remember. Okay,
No, I watched it too late. We should have done this like a month ago.
it's all good.
I do like the ridiculous clown makeup she puts on to try and blend in with the rest of the quote unquote normal people.
Well, it's weird because like when she goes to see Benedict Wong, I mean, yes, it's clown makeupy, but like it's not smudged or weird. But then like the weird part where Paul sees her in the woods, like
Yeah,
why was she even fucking there? That doesn't make any sense. It didn't really that part didn't make any sense to me.
I both like the things with Paul because I think he is a fun character, but
Yes.
I agree that lots of his like little chapter
Mm-hmm.
either don't make a lot of sense or actively hurt the narrative.
Yeah,
And I think
that's
her
yeah.
randomly chasing him in the woods is a big one because it calls into question why did she leave the house when she refuses to do so otherwise? Why is it worth her time to chase a meth head?
Well, the thing is, she didn't chase him. All you like, he just sees her in the woods and he runs away. And then the
Well,
person
I
who, like, the
mean,
cop is actually
potato
chasing him.
potato.
He just like she just
Yes.
he sees her in the distance. He's like, "What the fuck?" But yes,
Yeah,
I
I
don't know,
mean,
but yes.
um the whole moment where he's hiding in his tent and then he freaking stabs him in the face with the needles.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, hated that. I
Yep.
absolutely have a thing about needles. I fucking cringed so hard in my theater. I hated looking at that
Mm-hmm.
so much.
Yep.
Like even more so than Gladys getting her comeuppance at the end. Like, hated.
Yeah, that wasn't that. I mean, it was gross, but like, yeah.
Yeah,
I think the other one is more because it's more realistic.
that's
It's
true.
more gross and scary.
So obviously, Aunt Gladys's plan with the witchcraft was to capture a bunch of children. And another thing that is left intentionally vague here is that it doesn't explain what her overall plan was with the school children, but she just kind of kept them in her basement. What do you think she was doing with them? Do you think she was like do you think she was eating kids? Was it like
No,
a
no.
psychic
So
energy thing?
yes, so when I was doing some googling before this, so I could remember a lot of stuff. Basically, everything says that she was feeding off their uh, like spiritual energy.
Okay. I mean, I'll buy it.
Yeah, but also okay, like uh like are the kids like they didn't really show the like any like degradation, like it didn't show any like her feeding off them didn't really like you couldn't tell is what I'm saying.
Well, there is a bit of monologue from the opening kid character saying about how, oh, they're kind of mute and they all have to be, you know, hand fed as though they were babies. So I think her feeding on them mentally kind of like mentally regressed them and,
Sure.
for lack of a better term, kind of made them into vegetables. So I don't know if it was a more physical effect,
Hmm.
but it was definitely a mental one that you see towards the end because you see Josh Brolin carrying his son off, and the kids just kind of slumped there looking like a rubber doll or something.
Yeah, they did say like all of them were basically like in a catatonic state. That's true.
I thought it was funny that after the initial uh, scene where is his name Alex?
I think you're right. Alex is the kid.
Right. So after the initial scene where Alex and Gladys have that super uncomfortable conversation at the breakfast table
Oh, with the
where
fork.
where the parents fork themselves in the face, she then just kind of slaps makeup all over the dad and like crash test dummy sits him in the principal's office. And again, no one questions this.
Yeah, that's true.
I do again, I think I've said it before. I do wish this was scarier or committed more to the mystery bit. Like it feels like it's trying to do two things and it's doing both of them fairly well, but the trailer makes it look like it's going to do a lot more than what it does, I think. Like I kind of wish there was a way for the plot to work where it was just Julia Gardner and just Josh Brolin because those are two like strong personalities that you could play off one another.
Yeah, they're an interesting duo.
I don't know how you get the cop car there, or lots of the third act as we now know it doesn't line up if you do that. But especially from the opening trailer, that's really what it looked like it was going to be.
Which I'm glad that we got it at some point, but yeah, I
Yeah.
agree.
Well, we're both at a 3.5 out of 5. I would definitely recommend this to people, and I would actually say that this is good for people who don't watch a lot of horror movies because it's not actually that horrific. It's a lot more suspense and a lot more mystery than I think it let on. So I think this is actually good to recommend people if they haven't watched a whole lot of horror movies.
Generally, yes. I mean, I wouldn't. I mean, I'd still probably be like, hey, there's some like,
I mean, it's
there's a
definitely R
couple
rated for a
scenes.
reason, but
Yes, exactly.
again, especially and once the third act really kicks off, there is a lot of wild shit happening. I
Does it bucket?
also so I before we started recording, I did actually look up on Google. So okay, did they release an actual popcorn bucket for this? And they sadly did not. However, I don't think it does because there is some like recognizable prop stuff from this, but it's a lot of like twig branches and things of that nature. I don't know if you could really do a popcorn bucket with that.
Okay. Well, I literally just thought of this. So the twig snapping. I wonder if
Yeah.
they do a different thing of like red vines or something like that.
That could be fun.
Yeah,
Maybe
I
not a
know. I
popcorn
feel like
bucket
we are so.
specifically.
Go ahead. What?
I'm just saying, uh, maybe not a popcorn bucket specifically, but like a themed snack. So yeah, I think you could do like red vines, and they would have like wrapped chocolate on them or something like that to, you know,
Or a
symbolize
nerd's
the
rope or
blood.
whatever the fuck. Yeah.
Yeah, though. Yeah, okay. I could be talked around to that.
Because I feel like, yeah, we always ask, we always talk popcorn buckets, but some movies, yeah, I feel like maybe you could do something else that is,
Sure.
I don't know, not that specifically. All right. Anything else before we transition to our next segment?
So we're saying it doesn't bucket, but it does do merchandise.
I mean, every movie does
Well,
merchandise, but like, yes, I feel like you. I mean, I don't know if they would have sold as many red vine
probably
sticks.
not. Well, because also to try and sell that, you would give away a lot of what's happening in the movie.
Exactly. Because you don't even learn about the snapping of the stick until like halfway through the movie.
Yeah, I mean, we don't get to see that happen until Benedict Wong's house.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, something that I forgot. So there is a repeated motif of triangles in this.
Hmm.
And it's another one of those things that's not really explained, but it shows up all over the place. In the opening titles, you can see a triangle flashing inside the O of weapons, and then
Huh.
on Gladys's little like brass bell thing, you can see a stamped triangle on it.
Well,
Um,
I think it has to do with
I
her like seance stuff because if I remember right, it was a
yeah,
triangle of
because it's
things.
also on the floor.
Yes. So it just has to do. I think it's just her witchy things, but yes.
You know, just thought it was interesting design choices. But no, I think that is it for me.
Okay. Well, have you, besides weapons, have you watched anything this last week?
I rewatched Evil Dead 2016 because I love it. Um,
But not Evil
it
Dead Rise that we did on
I
like episode like
I
8.
mean it does go one right into the other. I genuinely might do that this weekend, although I have um, uh, the extended version of both Alien and Aliens playing down at the Grand I'm going to.
Jesus.
So I love me some Alien, so I will definitely go and do that. But maybe I'll do it on Sunday. Other than that, though, I've had some other things going on and haven't had the time. Work's been picking up weirdly enough at the end of our season, so been feeling kind of too tired to try and watch anything analytically.
That's fair.
How about you? I s-
Kind of the kind of the
I
same
don't want
thing.
to ruin your answer, but I see you've watched one of my quote unquote hidden gem picks off of off of a streaming service.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah,
Which which hidden gem, Hayden?
Slow West.
So yeah, so I also had a week where I've just been busy, but so I haven't watched a
Yeah.
ton. But yes, I watched Slow West. I got that from the library. I picked it because yes, the
What'd you
cover. I was like,
think?
okay, Ben Mendelsohn. I like. I think he's very underutilized.
Mm-hmm.
I like Michael Fassbender, but I feel like this was the title is very accurate,
It is certainly a specific vibe for that movie. Yeah,
and I just feel like there needed to be more that happened.
that's fair.
Um,
That
but
director also has another western out, which is also supposed to be another
Tornado.
slow movie. I don't know if that's the name of it, but yeah, I've been wanting to look toward.
Yeah, it's coming out this year. I just googled it. Um,
Yeah,
yeah, I liked it. I didn't love it. I generally like westerns,
that's fair.
so
I wish they
um,
made more.
I wish they made more. I rewatched Shrek with Emily because she
Hell
hadn't seen it
yeah,
in a long time. I mean I feel like I've watched this thing.
hell yeah, Shrek
It's
rocks.
I don't know the first one's great. The second one's also very good. So I might watch the second one sometime soon, but just again
I
not a ton
own
of
both of
time.
them if you want to borrow it.
It's all on Netflix. It's okay.
Oh, that's true.
Uh, and then I watched something on Tubi called Blue Iguana. This is like
I,
a
I I saw you post the
sea.
picture of the cover from it, and I'm like, I've never heard of this.
Yeah, I don't. It's Sam Rockwell, and that was the kind of the only reason I said yes to watching
Sure.
it. The guy from Parks and Rec, Ben Schwartz.
Oh yeah.
Um, it's very much like a C-list, like Ocean's movie knockoff. Um, yeah, they're not great. I'll be honest. There's a reason why literally no one's fucking heard of this.
Ooh, that's unfortunate.
I would give it like if I'm being generous, I'd give it a 2. But that's kind
Ooh,
of
that
all I've
bad.
watched this week. Yeah. So what else? I will probably be watching One Battle After Another sometime this coming week because that's
Please tell
out
me
at
if it's worth
my
the
work.
money.
Yeah, if it's worth the time. I mean,
I've also heard it's
it's
long. Yeah.
it's 2 hour 33. Yeah, but
Well,
literally,
I
like
saw a
everyone I know who has seen it has said it's actually really good. Most critics have been saying it's really good.
sure.
Um, Tonight was opening night at my work, and pretty much everyone who left was like, "Oh yeah, that was really good." So we'll see.
Okay.
What else?
Well,
Yeah.
when I watched Weapons, obviously they played a lot of horror movie trailers, which I am all about.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, they played the trailer for Keeper, which looks weird and strange, and I'm all for more. Um, what's that director's name from The Monkey and Long
Oh,
Legs? Osgood Perkins.
Oswald.
So
Yes.
I'm looking forward to that. They played the trailer for Good Boy, uh, the dog horror movie. That looks cool. Looking forward to that as well. And then The Devil's Rejects is getting a 20th anniversary re-release, the NC-17 version. So, uh, time permitting, I will love to go see that in theaters because those are great if you like that kind of thing. And then at there's a film festival going on right now called Fantastic Fest, and as you mentioned, Sam Rockwell has a new movie out that premiered there. It is a time traveling science fiction adventure from the people who did the first two Pirates of the Caribbean movies. It's called Good Luck, Have Fun, Don't Die.
Yeah, I've heard the title. I know nothing about it. I think I saw a still of it, but otherwise I know literally nothing about it.
Yeah, I mean they're keeping plot under wraps and things like that, but like I like all of these people attached to it, so I'm mildly interested to see where it goes.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Uh, and I know that I think you sent me the not great review of the Smashing Machine, right?
Well,
Was that you?
so
But
both
then I
so both him and the Smashing Machine had their film festival reviews come out. Neither one of them did really good. So maybe sports dramas slash sports horror is not the genre to watch right now.
yeah, well, maybe I don't know. I like my boss gets to see movies early to see, like, so the theater owners can decide if they want to show it at their theaters or not. He said it was really good. Um,
Hmm,
I don't know. If we show it, I will probably watch it. If we don't show it, I probably will not watch it because I don't want to pay for it.
fair, fair.
Knives Out is coming. Tron is coming.
Um, Mandalorian and Grogu. Do we have thoughts,
Uh,
opinions on it? Do
uh,
we care?
well, again, like some of the stuff from the trailer, I was like, oh, this is cool, but otherwise, I'm like, I don't care. I just don't.
It is weird to think about that. Like the first season of Mandalorian, which is I think easily and inarguably the best, is
Oh
close to
yes,
being 10 years old now. It came out around the same time as the first season of Stranger Things, which also they still think they're going to put out another season and have it be as good. It's like 10 years old now. And I think if you release this Mandalorian and Grogu, even back at the tail end of season 2, which was still fairly decent, people would have cared more. But like season 3 was so underwhelming. I literally didn't finish it. I couldn't be asked to pay attention. I think the excitement is almost all the way gone for that
well,
character and that show.
yes, but it is Star Wars, and if like a Star Wars movie, you will get people to watch it. That I mean, that's it's
That
going to make
that
money. That's a
that is true.
guarantee.
That is true. So
Am I more excited for? Am I more
Starfighter,
excited for Starfighter? Yes, absolutely.
yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
Like, yes, there's my boy in it, but like,
I didn't want to
uh,
mention it, but yes.
it just looks. I mean, everything that I've seen, I'm like, oh, this looks more interesting. This looks more fun. This looks more
Oh,
new.
and then the Del Toro Frankenstein is coming out the 16th of
Hmm.
October. So
Did
looking
you
forward to that
watch
as
the
well.
trailer for? I didn't watch the trailer. I've only seen a couple stills from The Bride by Maggie Gyllenhaal.
No, because I'm not interested in it.
It looks weird.
It looks like they're trying to make. So, as far as I understand it, they are retelling Frankenstein, but setting it in Chicago in like the 20s and 30s. They're trying to make it
Yes.
a gangster movie, but
Yes.
also make it a romance movie. I think they're trying to squish too many things together, and it looks kind of like an art house movie.
Yeah. Again, I didn't watch the trailer. I just watched a couple stills, but yeah.
Yeah, it feels like they're throwing everything from their cupboard into a bowl, stirring it together, and saying, "I'm a chef," and not just mixing random crap and thinking it'll be edible. But on the
Sure.
other
It's just
hand,
it's surprising
maybe we could be
because
wrong.
yeah, we could be wrong because I mean it's Christian Bale. I feel like he doesn't usually pick shitty projects generally.
Thor: Love and Thunder notwithstanding,
Yeah, but I mean that's not his fault. His character didn't really have
that's
anything to do.
literally he is the only good part of that movie. Like he's the only one trying.
Yes, the little bit that he actually had was good, but like again, underused. And with that, folks, next week we are going to be what did we say?
We're going to be talking
Oh,
about the
Ray.
biopic Ray.
Yeah, have we done a
It
biopic before? I don't think we have.
no,
Okay, well, hey,
And
we've done.
I'm glad we're starting with one that has a lot of good reputation behind it because I've been
Mhm.
meaning to watch this forever.
Oh yeah, I've thought about it on and off. I think I just saw like an Instagram reel or something last week from one of the scenes. I was like, "Ooh, this is good! Like, I'll have to watch this." So
I
I've got
mean,
it from the library.
it got
I'm
Jimmy
gonna watch
Fox's
it.
Oscar.
Yeah, yeah. And even the movie aside, I like Ray Charles music. That is very much my kind of music.
Yes, that era of jazz is great.
Hmm. So that's coming next
So
week,
join
folks.
us
If
next week for
you
that. It's not so if you want to watch that it's available for streaming off Amazon or YouTube. We're going to be watching it physically from our local library system, but if you want to join us, you can do the same or watch it off of Amazon.
And with that, thanks for listening, or at least tuning in, or at least, I don't know, hitting the play button for at least a couple seconds to get the stream for us. We appreciate that. And as we at some point used to say, sometimes we do say, sometimes we forget. Please tell your friends, family, coworkers, pets if they listen to you. Because yeah, obviously we just do this because it's fun. Would it be nice for more people to listen to us? Sure, obviously, but it's not really what we're doing. But
We would love to get some AdSense money from this. I want to be able to quit
eventually,
my
I mean,
job.
yeah, one day.
The
Uh,
professional podcasters, like all those people I see on the internet. And speaking of, find us on Instagram at the movie_bros. Give us a like, give us a follow. We try and post updates or just interesting movie news that we find on our timeline. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you next time.